Hello, my name is Arman and this is Simple Money, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the 5 leadership styles. So let's get into it. The first style of leadership is authoritarian leadership, and you may have heard at some point in your career, you may have even said it yourself, that so-and-so is a dictator. And the main reason for this is because in this style of leadership, a lot of things are dictated and controlled by the leader, and it goes down to the organization, every move that's supposed to be made, every decision that's supposed to be made, and they control and dictate everything without any meaningful feedback from the actual members of the organization. So in this specific style, there's a lot of control, but there isn't a lot of autonomy. In fact, very little to no autonomy available to the members of the organization. The second style of leadership is participative leadership. Now, before we had a dictatorship, and now we have a democracy, right? So in this specific leadership style, all of the decisions that are made require, or they at least encourage, a lot of participation from the subordinates, from the members of the organization, and the decisions that are made, the moves that are made, the goals that are set, all actually include feedback from the members of the organization. The third style of leadership is delegative leadership. Now, everybody says that they want a hands-off leader until they actually get a hands-off leader, and then nothing goes according to plan because there was never really a plan to even begin with. And so in this specific style of leadership, the leader steps away. They're pretty much either locked in their own office or they never show up or whatever it is, and all the decision-making processes, the moves that are made, everything that goes on within the organization is determined by the members of the actual organizations themselves. And researchers have found that out of all the styles of leadership that we're going to be talking about today, this is actually the least productive style of leadership because there is no leader present. All right, real quick before we get into the rest of the content, if you're actually getting value out of this video, if you're enjoying the content, go ahead and smash that like button for me and make sure that you actually subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button so that you can be informed the next time that we drop a video and you'll be the first to get it. The fourth style of leadership is transactional leadership. And from all the styles that we're going to talk about today, this is probably the most focused on the short term. And this style of leadership is focused on a rewards and punishment system, mainly because the belief within the organization is that people are actually motivated and inspired by either rewards or punishments. And finally, the fifth style of leadership is transformational leadership. And this style of leadership, if we were to choose one, would probably be the most effective out of all the styles that we talked about today. And the main reason is because it's actually focused on helping the members of the organization transform. Now, within this style, there are 4 different elements of leadership. All right, the first element is individualized consideration. And as the name implies, is you're considering the needs of the individual as you're going through your leadership process. And everybody's different, everybody's unique. A lot of people have their own version of learning things, their own preferred way of learning things. And so as the leader, if you can actually consider what that individual needs in order for them to grow, then you'll get the most out of them because you're giving them individualized consideration. The second element would be intellectual stimulation. And this one is also pretty much self-explanatory. And it's to give the person something that stimulates them intellectually, or you teach them something. So you could teach them a philosophy, a concept, a skill set, or maybe pose a question upon them that they go and do their own research and they come back with something that they learned and now they're intellectually stimulated. The third element of this leadership style would be inspirational motivation. And this one is also pretty self-explanatory. And the main reason for this is because I'm sure you've met people or you've worked with people or you've managed people that all they want to do is they want to clock in, they want to clock out, and basically do the least, like the lowest common denominator, the least thing that's required from them so that they can just collect their check and go home. But you may have also had somebody who's inspired to work. They do inspired work. And when you look at their work product and you compare the two, heads and shoulders above the other person is the person who gives you inspired work. So the inspired worker ends up doing better work for you. And so it's in your best interest and in the best interest of the organization to get inspirational motivation out to your people. And the last element being idealized influence. And this is actually on the leader. So If you work yourself up to be a good leader, if you're constantly developing yourself and you're giving a model for your people to follow, then that idealized version of you ends up being something that they can look up to. And this could be something like what to do, how to act, what kind of a person to be, and what things to shoot for. Now, if we were to choose one style out of the 5 styles that we talked about today, it would probably be the Transformational Leader. But if you really want to be a well-rounded leader, if you want to deliver comprehensive work to your people, then you want to adapt something from all of these different styles and kind of mesh them into your own personality and gain everything that you can from them to become the best version of yourself that you can be, so that you can be the best leader to your people that you can be. When you become a really strong leader, then you can actually put all of your people within your organization in a position to win and succeed, not just short term, but long term as well.